Imagine someone walking beside you all day, from the moment you wake up until you fall asleep. They comment on everything you do, not by shouting, by whispering. Not enough. Now isn't the right time. What if they find out who you really are? And the most unsettling part isn't that this voice exists, is that you believe this voice is you, but it isn't. That voice isn't your personality, it isn't realism, and it definitely isn't the truth. It's an old defense system, a survival mechanism. So now, it narrates your life as if danger is everywhere, even when it isn't. And it's been telling that story for a very long time. The inner critic isn't a personality trait. It's an emotional regulation system.
So, what does that actually mean?
In simple terms, your brain runs on different systems. One for growth and learning, one for care, safety, and calming, and one for survival, for spotting threats and preventing danger. The inner critic appears when your brain decides there is a risk here. A mistake must be avoided. And in that moment, the survival system takes over. It makes you smaller. It scares you. It compares you to others. It runs worst case scenarios on repeat, not because it wants to harm you, but because it wants control. Control feels safer than uncertainty. The problem is this system doesn't know when to stop. So it keeps talking even when the danger is gone. And it often speaks in a familiar voice.
A parent's tone, a teacher's tone, society's expectations, shame, humiliation, rejection.
That's why it feels so convincing, like this is just me being realistic, but it isn't. This voice is not wise, objective, or predictive. It's threat focused, like a news channel that only reports disasters all day, every day, and then says, I'm just trying to keep you informed. The cycle most people get stuck in looks like this. You want to do something. The inner critic activates with its famous words like, you're not ready yet, so you pull back. This is where most people get it wrong. They try to fight the critic, argue with it, silence it, or drown it in false positivity. But to the brain, fight equals threat. That's why motivational slogans often backfire. So, what actually works? Not silencing the voice, not deleting it, not bullying yourself into confidence, but changing its role. Changing the role means this: you stop seeing the inner critic as an enemy, and you also stop letting it lead. You treat it like an outdated alarm system, still loud, still dramatic, but running on old maps, in a world where those dangers no longer exist. It was built for emergencies, but somehow it became the permanent manager of your life. So instead of saying, shut up, you say, I understand what you're afraid of. That small shift creates a big change in the brain. The care and safety system turns on. And when that system is active, the critic doesn't disappear, but it softens. It steps back. It becomes manageable because the brain finally realizes, I don't need to scream to be heard. So maybe the issue isn't a lack of confidence. Maybe your life has been narrated for years by a voice designed for danger, not direction. A voice that was meant to protect you but ended up limiting you.